Weight Watchers now offers access to affordable GLP-1s. It works for members like,
I'm Haley, and I've lost 100 pounds. Weight Watchers has everything I need, from weight loss medications to nutrition support and help with my side effects. It's all in one place.
Weight Watchers handles the insurance for you and offers affordable cash pay options. With our program, our members are losing more weight with expert nutrition and side effect support.
I'm Mike, and I've lost 135 pounds. Weight Watchers prescribing GLP-1 medications. It's been life-changing.
I'm Sharia, and I lost 80 pounds on Weight Watchers. I realized that it would take more than a prescription to lose weight and feel good on a GLP-1.
Better results, expert support, lose more weight, make it last.
I can't imagine doing a GLP-1 without Weight Watchers.
Get started for as low as $25 at weightwatchers.com/GLP-1.
Medications require eligibility and prescription. Patients on 15 milligrams of Trizepatide had an average of 21% weight loss in a 72-week clinical trial when paired with diet and exercise. First month as low as $25 with a 12-month Med Plus plan. Does not include the cost of GLP-1 medications.
Hashtag no music, no intro. We are back. Another episode of the Saints Block Party podcast, and is that time again. Prospect of the week, SBP, Saints Block Party podcast, brought to you by Precious Works LLC. If you have any business website needs, reach out to our guy Bajan. It's I almost said POW. Whoops, too soon. Anyway, POTW week. We are breaking down, talking about Texas Tech defensive end David Bailey, and I just want to say off the bat, this might be the most pointless prospect of the week episode we've ever done.
Maybe.
We'll see. Anything can happen in the draft, I suppose. But just when I started watching him as a prospect, because it's felt like within the last, let's say 2 weeks, there's been potential that he could slip, right? And then was it yesterday or whatever? I don't know when it happened, but the news came out, a draft rumor that was put out by Todd McShay that potentially the Cowboys and the Cardinals may be discussing a trade for the Cowboys to move up to 3. I'm assuming giving up their 2 first-round picks to target and draft David Bailey, which that's a whole nother conversation of like, how do you hustle backwards as a football team? That makes apps like you could have just paid Micah Parsons. Like you literally just could have paid Micah Parsons. And anyhow, that's a different conversation for a different day. But 2 reasons why we're doing this prospect of the week on David Bailey. One, he won the poll. It was Bailey, Bain, and Sonny Styles. David Bailey won the poll on Patreon for us to talk about him in terms of who y'all wanted us to talk about. Secondly, I was told about 2 weeks ago, that potentially if David Bailey was there at 8, that the Saints would potentially select him and overlook like the risk that it comes with drafting him, which is such a weird thing to say because I'm like, what, like I risk in terms of I get as like risk, like defensive ends, and we'll go into their drafting history with defensive ends lately has not been very good. But just as a player, it just he can be like he's boom and busty. But just watching him as a player, I immediately thought like, God, like he would fit into the Saints defense so well, like insanely well. And I also came away a little bit. I feel like his weaknesses are a little maybe over-talked, like maybe a little over-exaggerated just in some terms of like his weaknesses. I'm not saying he's a perfect prospect. I'm not saying that at all. But he's one of the better prospects to me in this entire draft class.
No question about it. I mean, I thought that early in the process, I mean, I didn't do a deep dive on it, but you could easily see, okay, this is the best pure pass rusher in this draft. Easily see it. Now, as far as like overall prospect, all the tools and everything, then you could kind of, argue about, who's better here or there. But just from a pure pass rusher standpoint, if you want a pure pass rusher, edge rusher, like he just has all the tools, man. Like it's just there. The speed off the edge, the first snap quickness, the length, arm length, speed, measurable athleticism, all of it, bro. It's like it's just there, and the production to go with it. So you're not saying like, oh, if we move, whereas like Ava Reese, which is not a knock on her, but Ava Reese is more of a projection as an edge rusher, you know.
Yes.
Because Ava Reese doesn't really have like the production, the sacks, and the pressures and all that to go with what you see on tape, which is like just a stud athlete. You know what I'm saying? Whereas David Bailey, the production is there. The production is there. Even when you go back to his times at like Stanford and stuff, the production is there. So there's no question about that, man. It was interesting because I had my thoughts about him going into the watch.
Yes.
And I love going in with a certain thought and then have to watch. And it's like, oh, okay. Now I have a clear picture of what it is and some things that I thought were wrong.
And I've said this on previous Prospect of the Week episodes. And just so if you're listening to this, I guess it depends on what time you're listening to this, but right now we're like, for the people who are Patreons and YouTube members only, you're listening to the full version of the Prospect of the Week episode. It does get released 2 weeks after that, but it is a very truncated, shorter version. We take out any tidbits, when we're talking about the athletic profile, we cut that out because that's proprietary to like our people who support us from Patreon and YouTube members only. In terms of like talking about like raw players, like David Bailey is more advanced as a defensive end than Marcus Davenport and Peyton Turner. And it's like, so it's like which one is it? like
study the tape. Like y'all the ones that always talk about it's all about the tape. Like just study the tape. Damn it. Like all that helmet scouting shit.
It was just a huge thing that annoys me. The one thing I want to say about when we're just gonna get into talk about him. I feel like he is the anti Mansour Delane. Let me tell you about that. A lot of stats about Mansour Delane talks about like how great he is in coverage. He didn't give up any touchdown passes. His like completion percentage, quarterbacks throwing his way is just just elite. But when you watch his tape, you really watch Mansour Delane's tape, you kind of have like, oh, like is he CB1? This nigga say like as the stats would indicate. Right. I feel with David Bailey it's the opposite. Well, like while he has the production, like the 15 sacks, whatever, when you watch his tape, you actually see how more disruptive he offensive teams are like they literally have to game plan ways to stop him from disrupting the game. Yeah. Oftentimes you have a tight end next to the right to the left tackle. Sometimes you have a running back in protection. There are times where he is getting blocked by 2 or 3 players to stop him from getting to the quarterback, and it doesn't come up in the stats because that's not a stat. You have to watch the tape to be like, God damn, offensive coaches and head coaches come into the game saying, how do we stop 31 from taking over this game? Like that's like you can see it on tape. Like that is their mindset. Yeah. Like we can't let 31 take this game over. And that's when I say the anti-Mansour Delane is because his stats don't truly indicate how dominant and how much attention he gets on a snap by snap basis.
It's one of the things that like stood out to me immediately because when you watch a lot of games, he'll start off like game breakers, like boom, just annihilate. Like, oh, and you see the offenses adjust. Like, look, man, we got to give this guy some additions. They start running plays away from him, like completely on the side.
Yes,
just completely away. So we just taking him out we taking him out the picture because we're going to play way on this side. We're going to have to play develop way on this side. We're going to do motions over this way. We're going to do RPOs that go this way. We are not messing with 31 over here. But they did give 31 the freedom to like switch sides. You'll see him on the right tackle or you see him going against the left tackle sometimes. They'll double him. They'll send tight ends at him. They'll send running backs at him. Like he was obviously a force. So when you say that, that is very true, bro. Like his stats, I say it came away like, man, his stats could have been like way better.
Yes.
But teams just have to, and like I said, like the Saints need a guy like that. They need a guy really on both sides of the ball where the coordinator is going into Tuesday to get Tuesday game plan. Like, man, circle this guy. Like we got to have a plan for this guy. Right now, we got Chase. That's it.
Chase Young, and that's it.
That's it.
Like you can really see the vision if he's there. At this point, if he failed 8, bro, like, and I don't know, we'll see, but like, I would be shocked at this point if the Saints passed on him.
I'd be shocked. If Saints passed him at 8, I would be blown. I would need to know. I would need a meeting. Like, I would need an explanation in the presser with whoever they selected. I need Cat, Terrell, or somebody to
something.
So what was the deal with David Bailey? Why'd you pass on that? Like, what was the issue there?
And I don't want people to listen to this and for us to maybe take away that maybe he's like a perfect defensive end prospect. He's not. But like he's not in the tier of a Will Anderson Jr. that got drafted, right? He's not in that tier as a prospect. But watching him, and again, it's just pure prospects because then you get jaded in terms of what the NFL career has started out. To me, he's already as a prospect, he's a better defensive end prospect than Jared Verse was, which is a little funny because you and I did not like Jared Verse's tape a lot, and some of that was kind of like just some loafing and things like that, which is funny because in the NFL, his first year, like all those concerns we had about him as a prospect, like you didn't see any of them. But in year 2, you then kind of saw like how, what we kind of went, and I'm not saying that Jared Verse is not a great defensive end in the NFL. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that some of the things that we had concerns about him as a prospect started showing up more this year than they did his rookie year. So I feel like he's a better, like, just prospect than Jared Verse, and I compared him to, he's a more explosive James Pierce without the character issues. Like,
yeah, I like that one.
Just
I like the James Pierce one.
Because they win similarly. I feel like David Bailey is a tad more explosive, and he's bigger, he's longer.
And I also think he's a little more just nuanced. Where
yes.
James Pierce was just athleticism. It's all athleticism coming off the edge. Where Pierce, he has some pass rush like repertoire.
Oh, you mean Bailey?
You know what I'm saying? Bailey, I'm sorry. Bailey has some pass rush repertoire to his game. Where you can tell that, okay, he's been playing a while. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's I want to say a 4-year player. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
He's been playing.
Which is funny because if you just listen to, like, the outside, you would think that all David Bailey does is just, like speed rush. Like he has nothing else in his game. But, like, watching him was so interesting because I was like, oh, this nigga got a spin move? He goes speed to power? His hand usage is not elite, but it's like at least in the middle. Like he doesn't like hit, like he is definitely more nuanced in his pass rush ability than I think people would have you maybe believe without like really, really going in and watching his tape. So let's look at just to start his infographic. Put that up there. There you go. So David Bailey's infographic: 15 sacks on the season, 23 quarterback hits, 380 pass rush snaps. And then if you look at David Bailey compared to like the national field, he's right up there. His pressures are higher. He's 81 in hurries. And I know like we get annoyed with hurries, like the stat, but he has like legit hurries where his pressures and hurries lead to sacks for other people.
Yeah. Oh man, like Lee Hunter. That was one of the other things that stood out to me watching the tape. Like, damn, Lee Hunter, boy. Woo.
Yes.
that's a big boy right there, boy.
Because what happens is, like, depending on what side, David Bailey's coming off the edge and he comes off so screaming that the quarterback has no other choice except to step up. And then you have the interior pressure getting there, cleaning it up, bro. Like, it was just that Texas Tech defense is nasty, bro.
Then you had Rodriguez, linebacker.
Rodriguez's instincts was just crazy too.
Like, if you can get both of them, I'm like, man, give me both of them, motherfucker. Like, I know it probably won't happen, but because we want our juice. Like, if you went deep, if you went Bailey at 8, obviously we want our offensive juice.
Need it. But, and I don't think I could see him falling to round 3 though. I could see that. Like, I could see Rodriguez being there at 73. But then that's a whole nother question I was thinking about earlier. Is like, if the Saints took Rodriguez in round 3, how does a linebacker room shake out? Because then you got Caden Ellis, then you got Stuntsman, you got Rodriguez. I'm not. At least it would signify the end of Pete Warner. Like,
that'll be over. That era is over. But yeah, the infographic is pretty cool, man. Like, you look at it, like 15 sacks, bro. Like, this is just the 2025 season. 15 sacks. He had a sack against Oregon in the big game. 81 total pressures, 43 hurries. What are some other shits on here? 380 total pass rush snaps.
They call them high impact stops. So it recorded 40 defensive stops, ranking 10th among all edge rushers. And it's not included in this graphic, but something I love about him as a player, when it's that money down, when it's third down,
we're gonna see one of the clips that I got when we play our clips is a 4th down play he made that actually got negated due to a flag. We'll talk about that.
Terrible flag.
Don't. We'll get to it. But yeah, man, like his production is crazy. What I really love about him is like his speed, like not just the speed off the snap, but like when he hits that edge, that outside shoulder, it's like you could see the offensive tackle just like, fuck.
Yes.
And at that point, it's all on the quarterback. Like, it's all on the quarterback to like make something happen. So a lot of the things you don't see in the stats is how quickly the quarterback has to throw the ball, get the ball off, check down.
Quick, Wolf. Quick.
Throw to the flats. So a lot of those don't, you won't see that in the stat sheet, but those are like super impactful plays on the offense. And it's like, man, the Saints they need a guy like that badly, bro. Badly.
It is like that. I was watching that Arizona State game, and he dominated that game. Like, so much of and testament to Jordan Tyson, because I know at the combine he told our dude Jake that was the game that he was most proud of, because without Jordan Tyson, like, Arizona State doesn't win that game.
Bro, Jordan Tyson was like battling in that game, bro. He was giving everything he got. Yeah, man. Also, the Stanford tape, when I just watched one game against NC State. He did drop in the coverage a lot more when he was with Stanford. And he could do it. Like, it's not in Brandon Staley's defense, I want to say Granderson dropped back like maybe 100
he sure
pounds.
did.
So he could do it, bro. Like, as far as, like, look, you're not going to have him covering, freaking some tight end down the field on the down seams and nothing like that. But like spot drops, covering the running back, just going out to the flats or, on a check down, he could do it very well. He's fast. One of the things that he will really add to our defense is versus mobile quarterbacks. The problem we have years now, because he's legit fast, bro. Like, I know he ran a 4.5 in the combine. He's legit fast. I've seen times where he did wrongly bite on like a inside handoff fake to the running back, and then the quarterback will break off running out to the opposite, and he'll bite wrong, but then he'll quickly shoot back and catch that running back or quarterback and just track him from behind for a loss. You know what I'm saying? So like that speed we just don't have on the defense, bro. We don't have
it also goes to show one of his biggest knocks, right, is his, like, and this is why sometimes like the combine drills and shit like that like annoys the shit out of me, because when he did like the drill with like the spinning around, like the turning the edge or whatever, like people were concerned about like his lack of like bend and flexibility. There are plays on tape where it completely demolishes that notion, like completely. I will say, like, if you're going into like the worries about him potentially, most of his production comes from the 2-point stance. Like, you rarely ever see him in a 3-point stance, and that's something where that's kind of goes to like the refinement of him, right? Like him compared to a player like Ruben Bain. Majority of his snaps he's going 3-point stance. Sometimes he goes 4-point stance, and he's very effective out of those stances. With David Bailey, like, he is literally like in a 2-point stance. He's hovering over, plays a wide nine. Like, shit, wide nine is like an understatement. Like, sometimes he is so wide out there, and that's something where you can offensively, you can attack. A smart offensive coach attacks that with, like, if you're going to be out that far outside, we're going to run it to the left where you're playing so far outside. So in terms of that, like, like that refinement in terms of like some of his rawness, those are the things where you do want to see him get better at. But he's also a younger prospect where you feel like, listen, Bo Davis, Brandon Staley, get to work.
And look, man, like the Saints asked their guys to be in the 2-point stance more than anything. If this was still DA defense, I'd be worried.
Yes.
And Brandon Staley's defense, I'm not worried about that. One thing he does need to work on. I could see him getting stronger. He needs to get a little stronger, especially like in his base. You don't see. I think somebody put the stat up on, like, the vast majority of his wins were on the outside, like outside pass rush. So you don't see a lot of wins on inside pass rush, because a lot of times that's the way you win in the NFL. You know, you fake to the outside, you win to the inside, you attack guards, you attack the inside. We used to see it with Penning all the time, getting beat on the inside. And I think his just lower body strength isn't there yet to just beat that inside. The inside just trash. There's so much trash in the inside that you got to be. Sometimes you just can't win just with speed. And it's not that he lacks power, because one of the clips I'm gonna show is that he has power, bro. Like when he converts that speed to power, sometimes it overwhelms offensive tackles. But I do feel he can get stronger just from the lower body. And like you said, he's young. Want to say he's 251, 6'3" or whatever. So like he could definitely add just a little bit more weight without losing that speed that he has.
Like more muscle.
More muscle. So that's one of the, and all the talk about the run, like, can he stop the run? I thought he was fine against the run, but I just think, like, Texas Tech, like, man, we need you to rush the passer. Like,
right.
You figure out that run shit later. So that's what he did. And when he did, he was constantly, attacking running backs from the backside, catching from the backside, stuff like that. He has a good motor, man. Always running hot. Always play.
One of the things I loved seeing on tape from him is because teams had to scheme a lot of quick passing plays, like wide receiver screens or swing passes and things like that. Even at his size, like, he's hustling out to the perimeter. Like, he's like hustling and he's getting in there. And that's the stuff where, and I just remember going back to like Jared Burst, like, it just annoyed me when him at Florida State, because a lot of his film, like, he would just not. He would just be like, nah, I'm good over here. But with like Bailey, you see that, like, that motor is going. I tweeted something last night, and I don't feel like I hope it wasn't controversial, but if it was, I just said Bailey's, in terms of a pass rusher, he's on a different sphere than Ruben Bain. That's not a knock on like Ruben Bain as a player, but it, like, just how their athletic profile is so distinctly different, and they win in different ways. And Bailey's athletic profile typically has more success in the NFL. Now,
I don't know. I don't know about that, because this goes to my. I'm interested to see how it plays out as far as career, because I did like a unofficial study myself last year. I just wanted to look at like the top 20 pass rushers as far as like pressure rate, sacks, or whatever.
Yeah.
I looked at them, and I looked at like their pressure clips from the all 22. And I just wanted to know, like, how do these guys win? Trey Hendrickson and Aiden Hutchinson and all these guys. How do they win? And like one common denominator that I could find in all of them is it was about power. It's not so much the speed, it's the power moves that really get to tackles over time during the game. And like I said, that's not saying that Bailey doesn't have power. He could play with power, but that's something he could add more to his game.
Right.
Whereas Bain is a power player. Like, that's his game. He doesn't really have the speed, though. You know what I'm saying? So I'm curious to see how that plays out in the NFL, as far, because I think Bain, like, from like a day one, is like a 3-down player, like run,
yes.
rush. But he's going to win more on inside move, inside rush. and hustle and tenacity. Like that's gonna be how Bane wins. Where Bane is gonna win more on outside speed. Bailey, I keep saying Bailey is gonna win more on outside speed, athleticism, and just like that fire snap off the ball. Both are great, great traits. So I'm very fascinated to see like which one works out best in the NFL, because the problem with the NFL is, especially now, everybody's doing these tight formations with tight ends, 2 tight ends, and all that stuff. That space where Bailey likes to work at is just not
out there.
That's just not how offensives are playing right now. They like to pack stuff in, simulate the run. Most of the games you saw David Bailey play against spread out formations, pistol, and all that stuff. NFL, you're gonna see a lot of tight. You're gonna see under center, hard play action where tackles are coming out playing a run, but it's actually a pass. You didn't see Bailey go against a lot of that. So I'm real fascinated to see like how he adjusts to that in the NFL, because it's gonna be completely different for him.
Completely different for him. Like it's a completely different game. Something that.
And sorry to cut you off, but that one thing is what makes me wonder if he can fall to 8, because I do wonder if some defensive coordinators or teams will look at it like, from the way I run my defense, I don't know if I want that. I don't know if I want to draft that. You know what I'm saying? So that's what gives me a little bit of hope, a sliver of hope that he might be there at 8, just maybe.
I want to look. Let me look at these numbers. Okay, so the big difference between these two players, the big difference between these two players is the player that is in the NFL is much like has a lot more weight on them. But the player a little bit that I was thinking that David Bailey reminded me of, and I'm not saying they win similarly, I'm just saying just overall like how like similar players is a player who actually just got paid yesterday by the Jacksonville Jaguars, Trayvon Walker. Now Trayvon Walker has 2 inches on him in height and like 20 pounds on him in weight, but which is like big, right?
But all muscle too.
Yeah, right. Muscle. But the rest of their stats in terms of like their 40, their broad, are pretty similar. David Bailey actually had a faster, like a higher broad jump, and their hands are like exactly the same hands, arm length. Trayvon Walker has a half inch on David Bailey. So the way you could look at that is like Trayvon Walker was 2 inches bigger, 20 pounds heavier, and still like his athletic profile is like a little more impressive than David Bailey's, who's a little smaller. But I just like how they win is similar. Trayvon Walker is more of a power rusher, but just how stylistically, if David Bailey may hit in the NFL, it more than likely potentially may be along those lines. So let me pull up this.
The NBA playoffs are finally here, and Underdog is the place to get in on the action. Playing on Underdog is easy. Just pick whether your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like points, rebounds, steals, and more. This week on Underdog, I'm looking at the NBA playoffs and selecting Jason Tatum for higher than 28.5 points and Nikola Jokic for higher than 11.5 rebounds. Download the app today and use promo code BLOCKPARTY to score $50 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code BLOCKPARTY. Underdog. Make picks. Win money.
Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Arizona, Massachusetts, and Virginia, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Offer not valid in Maryland, Michigan, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
This is the new Weight Watchers, built for real life and real results, no matter what mode you're in. Maddie went all in for her big day and lost 33 pounds. Emily lost 85 pounds and hit her goal while still living her life.
Weight Watchers gave me the tools and I feel amazing.
Join the millions of members and lose weight with the #1 doctor-recommended weight loss program. Lose more at WeightWatchers.com.
At 6 months, participants in the clinical trial of Weight Watchers program lost an average of 12 pounds.
Funny, like the mock draftable. David Bell is actually really close to Jared Verse. Jared Verse was 6'3", 7/8", and 254 with 33.5-inch arms, and ran a 4.5 840.
Yep.
And David Bailey,
very, very similar.
very similar. Different players now on tape.
Yes, Jared Verse definitely more of a power.
A very much so a power player. So it just goes to show. Another player I thought about watching him was who also got paid this offseason was Boy Mafe.
It's a good one.
I felt like that could be his floor.
Yeah.
Like, say he just doesn't develop at all, like just no development or whatever. I think that's his floor. And I wanted the Saints to pay Mafe, you know what I'm saying? And Mafe was just like, he's just been purely like a pass rush specialist for like the Seattle Seahawks. And obviously you would want more than that from Bailey. If you take him at 8, you want him to be more than that. But as a floor, like I'd take that, you know what I'm saying? Like if that's just like, you just no development whatsoever, we just get you straight raw off the bus just like that, I'll take Boy Mafe.
Yeah, absolutely. And what was interesting when we did the prototype in comparison. Now, I'm warning people, there are a lot of typos in this because AI is sometimes okay and sometimes terrible. So there's a ton of typos in this. But if you look at and also I should point out that the prototype has been updated. You know, we're doing the draft project. Jay started it last night. So the draft prototype for positions was updated, including last year's draft class. So the defensive end prototype, in terms of metrics you see, the linebacker metrics you see, have all been updated, including players from last year. So like Fidel Diggs, Danny Stutzman, all that. What's so crazy is that regardless of like however you look at David Blake, because he's not a linebacker, but in terms of like him being in 2-point stance, he, for the most part, besides like he's a little shorter for the height and he's about 10, 13 pounds on the weight, metric wise, he pretty much smashes the Saints prototype for defensive end out of the water. Now, like in terms of the 40 time, he's an exceeds in the 40 time. His vertical jump is higher. His broad jump is a lot higher. So he really is, like, I'm sure when we do that, the draft prospect matching we're going to work on this weekend, actually, he more than likely is probably going to be like an exceeds or an above average. How even with his height and weight being a little under, his other metrics in terms of physical traits might put him at an exceeds.
No question, bro. Like that's why I included linebacker on here too, just because I wanted to see where he would measure up as far, because I knew from a defensive end standpoint he was going to just destroy those metrics. But the fact that he's also pretty much blowing away the linebacker metrics also
crazy, bro.
Crazy, because the Saints draft history with linebackers, you know, some were off-ball linebackers, you know what I'm saying, and some were mixed like Zach Bond, and some were like, you know, Haloli Kakaha, which was more edge. So, which is where David Bailey fits as far as like that mold of like an edge linebacker. So just the fact that he smashes all those metrics tells me like you have no worry about that from like the Jeff Ireland prototype, you know, measurables perspective. He's going to destroy all that shit.
And what was interesting, pulling the data, right, for the edges, so they've drafted 10 edges since 2006. Again, this doesn't include players like Carl Granderson or I'm blanking on his name, Beltman.
Gillette.
Yeah, Junior Gillette. Their hit rate of drafted defensive ends dating back to 2006 is 40%.
Horrible.
40%. Now, I'm not going to get into like the discussion in terms of like Marcus Davenport, if he was a red, if he's a yellow. I don't care. Like, to me, like, he's a red. Like,
that's a red, bro.
That's a red. I'm sorry, it's
like,
a red.
One nice solid season is no. Like you're a red.
It's a red. But what was interesting, if you just look at this graphic, is when they have hit on both, whether it be linebackers or defensive ends, it really has been that round 3. Like that has been like the sweet spot. They drafted Trey Hendrickson, and Alex Anzalone. Fucking that 2017 draft was insane. Round 3, Zach Bond, round 3. Although we didn't see the fruits of that labor. Caden Ellis, who is now back on the team, they got him in round 7. So they've done a lot of work in terms of their hits have come after round 1 with the linebackers and with the edge rushers. Like they're green since 06 defensive end is Cam Jordan, bro.
That's just terrible, bro. Just terrible.
And they've been. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying. I looked at like linebacker and edge. I mean, linebacker and DE all together is like a 32% hit rate, bro. Like 32%. And like you can't even like usually we get like the Jeff Ireland switch where like okay once Ireland came it got better. Like no, they got a little better with linebacker, but
they got better with linebackers, but
it's just still bad, bro. It's bad, and you know I feel like David Bailey would be very different from what they've attacked before. He would be more in the line of with Cam Jordan, where Cam Jordan had the production, he had the tape and all that stuff, and was just rock solid. That's David Bailey. You know what I'm saying? He has the production, he has the tape, he has the measurables, he has the whole package. Whereas, you know, Marcus Davenport, a reach and a projection. You know what I'm saying? Small school guy. You're looking at just a huge athlete that you think can transition. Peyton Turner, his tape wasn't even. Like, at least with Marcus Davenport, you can squint and look. You can squint and look at Marcus Davenport tape and be like, okay, he's powerful. I give him that. Like, he's a bull in a china shop. But Peyton Turner was just like, okay, bro, like
there was nothing, bro. There was nothing on the tape.
Isaiah Foskey, he had like the production, but like once you like watch the tape, it was like, okay, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh man, just a lot of misses. But then you had guys like Trey Hendrickson, which you just struggled to even find tape on him. Shit, he was. They just bet on athleticism with him,
and it worked out. They worked out like in terms of like his development and what have you. So like kind of to your point, right? You kind of said it like David Bailey's athletic profile, like if he's there, like you said that it would be different than what they drafted in the past, which is true. I'm not saying they're similar players. I wonder if, because they're not the same, but I do wonder if Jeff Ireland has some Deion Jordan flashbacks with David Bailey.
That will be something, huh?
Right? Like I'm not saying that that's a thing, and I have nothing. It's not tied, and in fact, that's just how GMs and scouts are, bro. Like when you have players who have not worked out and has like, you know, just have spurred you in the past, it's like a jilted ex where it just stays with you. Like sometimes if you have dated someone and they have a specific personality and they have like these specific traits and it becomes like a jilted ex situation, you tend not to try to date similar people, that person again. Or some people are just hot and just like double down, like give me more of that, give me more. But like you typically like you stay away from it. So I do wonder if that's the thing with Jeff Ireland, where he maybe sees like some Deion Jordan and like it's like that didn't work out for me. Like I'll stay away. We'll see, man. I don't think they would, but we'll see. It's if you going back and watch our episode we did with the players in the Saints clouds, David Bailey was not on that episode. He was not on the episode. But I do wonder if they start like really like digging in. They're like, are we gonna really pass on him if he's there at 8? Like, are we gonna do this?
It was at the pro day. Like, I mean, I know there were other players to go look at the pro day, but I'm like, if you go on the Texas Tech pro day, David Bailey is one of the players you're looking at. You know what I'm saying? And
yes,
it was Kellen. Once it was Kellen and Ireland was there.
They were, and Bo Davis was leading the defensive line drills, and he was up and close with Lee Hunter. Even if they don't draft David Bailey, whether that be passing on him or him not being there at 8, I do wonder if they add a Texas Tech defensive player in general at some point in the draft.
Yeah, man, it's a good. I mean, they had a great defense, bro. They got some players over there, bro. I would not mind a Lee Hunter. I would not mind a Rodriguez. I would love any of those 3. Maybe they got some more I just don't know about.
Romello Height is he came along last season as well. They have some. They definitely have some
Was
players.
he a safety or the cornerback?
No, he's a defensive end.
Defensive end? Okay, yeah. He got some juice too. They got some players, bro. But David Bailey, I go back and forth if he's gonna be there. Okay, Jets. See, it sounds like Avon Reese would go to the Jets. It's
Sounds like
it. Sound like that.
The David Bailey question starts at 3.
Cardinals. Nobody knows what the Cardinals do.
Nobody.
Okay, gets past Cardinals. Then you got who's next?
The Titans. Now the Titans are interesting because that if he's there at 4, I would guess what the Titans are debating on is David Bailey or Ruben Bay. Right. That would be my guess.
That'd be my guess. And when you look at who the 49ers have drafted with Salah, or you look at the Jets, who did they take with him? Did they take? Was that Jermaine Johnson? They
did.
It's like I could see them going either way. I really don't know.
I could too. Because when I think about last season, and I don't know how much Salah had with the 49ers in the draft last season because he was only there for a year, but with Mikael Williams, if you think of that lens, that seems to me more like a Ruben Bain pick for the Titans, right? But if you go to the Jets, where maybe Robert Salah had like more control because he was the actual head coach and they drafted a Jermaine Johnson. Now, maybe they look at it because Jermaine Johnson is also with the Titans, like having 2 versions of Jermaine Johnson of like, because they may be duplicative. I don't know, bro. I don't know.
Then after the Titans, you got the Giants. I don't see them going David Bailey. They just
not at all
drafted what you call them. Okay, Giants. Then Browns. I don't see Browns going David Bailey.
I don't see it, but they surprised everyone last year with drafting Mason Graham, bro.
Right,
and like maybe they just say just our board. We need a wide receiver. Yeah, we need a tackle. But pairing David Bailey opposite of Myles Garrett, and you have Mason Graham in the middle, and you got Carson Schlesinger.
Okay, but say Browns pass on them. Let's just say Browns. Look, we need a tackle. We need a tackle, and they go tackle. Then you got
Commanders,
Washington, right? That's always come down to Commanders. Then it comes down to Washington. Who else on the board? Is it Love on the board? Is
Caleb Downs?
Caleb Downs on the board, like I'm just saying, Bailey. That's contingent on like this Cowboys trade thing not happening, which is just a rumor. He could be there, bro. Like I'm just saying, he could be there. He could, which would just be. I'd be fascinated. I just can't like the Saints passing on that.
Bro, if he was there,
a team that needs a pass rusher, it needs a pass rusher. It's a need.
I need the draft to get here, Wolf. I just need answers.
Bro.
I need answers. We are what? 19 days away. I need answers.
Wow.
This is him earlier in the same game. Early in the game against Arizona State. Let's pull up our cloud.
Yo, what up, Wolf? What are you looking at?
Man, I'm checking out this website. This site is cheap, bro.
In the 21st century? How do you have a crappy website? Couldn't be me.
They need to hit up our guy Bijan with Precious Works. Precious Works offers to not only build you a website that's tailored to you and your customers' needs, but also to continue to manage and maintain it so you can focus on your business. Don't have much time? Precious Works is just what you need. No out-of-the-box stuff like Squarespace or Wix. Precious Works will create a site for you. You won't have to worry about plug-in updates, security, or things like that because Precious Works will maintain all of that and be available to you 24/7. Bijan set up Saints Block Party Podcast website for us a few years ago and hit it out the park. He also keeps it up to date and helps us anytime we want to add something new like a form or the prospect matching tool that we did for the NFL draft. It's like having your own personal developer just a text or a call away. Precious Works has worked with everyone from small businesses to large firms, so no job is too big or too small. If you're in the need of a website or you currently have one, but you want to upgrade it, give Bijan a holler at Precious Works. You can get with him at Bijan at Precious Works, BIJON at precious.works, or go to precious.works for his website. Make sure to tell him Saints Block Party sent you.
Because I was not expecting this going in.
No, not at all.
He's the top of my cloud. He's the second player in your cloud.
Knock down Caleb Downs. Can you believe it?
And I'll give you the reason as to why. His play on the field changes what the offense wants to do.
Yeah. Perfectly said.
When you have a player that can change what the offense wants to do, when you have a player that is attracting attention, where we have to divulge assets to make sure he doesn't take over this game. That is a weapon to have in a defensive player.
Yes.
Like that's what those players are incredibly hard to find. And I love Caleb Downs. Love him. One of my favorite players in the draft. What he doesn't dictate that. He's a great player, but it doesn't dictate that. And we talked about this on the last episode, I believe it was, when you asked me, in terms of pass rush or cornerback, when we were talking about Marshawn Delane. If you just watched all those clips, you see why the pass rush, I said, give me pass rush, bro. Give me pass rush.
Yeah.
That's why. Even for him to be second player on your cloud, I thought was very telling as well.
Yeah, man. Because look, love is just, I love love, bro. I don't think anybody could take love out of here. Maybe Avery Reese if we did him, but we not.
Nope.
But love is different for me. But I didn't expect. I honestly, I was in my mind. I was like, okay, Bailey will probably be after Downs, going into this. But once I was done, I was like, man, Bailey, arguably the best player in this draft, bro. He's one of the best players in this draft, man. It's crazy.
And it's very obvious. It's very tangible. I talked about the whole juice and squint thing. There's not one squint when you put on 31 tape. And I want people to listen to this. I'm not high on David Bailey because I went to Texas Tech and he's a Texas Tech player. This has nothing to do with that. Just watching the tape, there are games and stints in games where he is just absolutely dominant. If he's not if he's not getting the sack or whatever himself, what he's doing is causing other players on the team to feast because left tackles and right tackles, he gave each side fits. He also, I noticed he had a lot of freedom in the Texas Tech defense in terms of what he wanted to do at the line of scrimmage. If you want to go against the left tackle, you want to against the right tackle. He had a lot of autonomy in terms of how he wanted to attack that. Could he be there at 8? Could he? Oh, I should have also told you that I wanted you to move down Jordan Tyson because the injuries, bro. Sorry, we'll do that. Yeah, the injuries, bro. I can't. I'm out. I can't. At 8? No, man. I say that just where this team is.
Yeah, man.
The risk to take a player like that at 8 and and here's the thing with a player like Jordan Tyson, all the warning signs are in your face, right? All the warning signs is right there. Right there.
So you just feel stupid. They were right there.
Listen, edge rushers like David Bailey, there's a tendency for them to bust, no matter who they really are. Edge rushers just have a lot of variables. So I would say of all the players on this list, the player that has the most potential, or on our cloud, the players that have the most potential to bust, to me, is David Bailey. Now, Jordan Tyson, I'm not putting him in that because I think the warning signs are there. But he's the biggest boomer bust prospect in our cloud.
In our cloud, yeah. That's just from the nature of the position he plays. It's so hard to project it, bro, because the college offenses are just so different.
Yes.
And it's less about the offensive tackles you're facing and all that stuff. It's just what coaches do and what offenses do, man. They get the ball out quick. They send a lot at you. They send so much at you with motions and different formations and all that stuff. So David Bailey, one thing I also came impressed by him is you could tell he's a smart player.
Yes.
Just recognizes things. He's just not one of these dumb pass rushers that just don't know. You could tell he's paying attention to what's going on. And the fact that he was on the field so much that, just shows that they trusted him a ton, man. My own, my only knock, well, I wouldn't even call it a knock. It's more like a coaching point. And this is almost with every pass rusher that comes out, is like obviously like hand usage, like developing a second, a second swing, just a combat move that, because most of the times you're going to lose on your first approach in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? So you got to have a backup plan. I know you got the spin move and all that. Now you got to be careful with the spin moves in the NFL.
You do.
Because them tackles will eat that shit for lunch. So you got to have just more repertoire to your hand usage, but that comes over time with coaching, working with Bo Davis. That just takes time to develop. Once he develops that, oh my God.
I feel like that is Ruben Bain's superpower.
Oh yeah,
like
because he has a repertoire. Boy.
Yes, he got a bag, but I will say, I came away. David Bailey has way more of a pass rush bag than like just how he's presented, just overall. Mm-hmm. He's just presented like he's just straight. What
was the Georgia player? No, not the Georgia. Was that Georgia? The guy that the Falcons drafted. He was small though. He was a real tweener. Victor.
Vic Beasley.
Vic Beasley, yeah, Vic Beasley. Like they were like talking about
Clemson.
Clemson. The Clemson, yeah. Like they were talking about him like he was like that. Like just, Vic Beasley off the edge, just one move, just speed. Hell no. Like that's not Bailey at all. You know what I'm saying? That is not Bailey at all. Like at all. From just a build, from just a production standpoint, like just he's like a legitimate pass rusher. Legitimate.
Yes. Listen, I know we've screened. Also, it's very interesting. Just looking in our top 3 of our cloud. As much as there has not been a podcast that has been asking for juice more than us in the last 6 years of doing this goddamn podcast, it is very telling to me that our top 3 has 2 defensive players because of the type of draft that this is. The best players in this, and we've talked about it ad nauseum. This draft, you got, obviously David Bailey has the positional value because he's an edge rusher, but Caleb Downs, safety. Jeremiah Love, running back. This draft, you got to just draft whoever the fucking best player is and just fucking just go. Now, round 2, if you want to be more about positional value, and I'm just speaking like for all teams, not just the Saints, then cool, I understand it. But this draft, you have to just whoever the best player is, draft and just walk away. Because that's the type of draft that it is.
Straight up. No question, bro.
19 more days. Tony, Tony said, going to have quarterbacks in hell when we look into David Bailey at 8 and pair him with Caleb Proctor in the 4th.
Man, listen.
That's Tony's guy.
He pushing that Caleb Proctor agenda, boy. He good too, bro. He good. Like we won't do a prospect of the week on Caleb Proctor. We will not. But
no.
I watched him a good bit. He's a really good player. Like I try to get him in every mock draft. Something I do.
Last thing as we wrap this up, give me a percentage chance that David Bailey will be available at 8.
Bro, I think it's not 50-50, but I would say there's like a 45% chance he'll be there.
Yeah, bro. That's where I was about, like 60, 40, 45.
Yeah, like it's not like, it's really not out of the realm. You know what I'm saying? Where like an Averill Reese is like, okay, Reese not going to be there. You know what I'm saying? Just not. Like, get it out your mind. But Bailey, just the fact that he doesn't match. He's not like a 32 of 32.
No,
team match,
he's not.
You know what I'm saying?
He's not at all.
Not every defensive coordinator, not every GM or whatever is going to look at him and say, okay, he fits in my scheme, my defense, my needs, and all that stuff. Whereas a lot of other players are. Caleb Downs fits any defense. Reese, even though he's a projection, you know what I'm saying, he's just so just crazy, you just don't know what to do with him. Then you just got all the other needs that other teams need. Where Bailey, he fits so well in Brandon Skelly's scheme, bro. He fits so well.
The only thing, and I heard this about a month ago.
I don't think Washington would take him. I don't think he fits. I don't think
Gus Bradley. Oh, no, Gus Bradley. Dan.
What's his name? Just go on, bro. Not the head coach.
Dan. I gotta look it up, bro.
Just going out my head.
Quinn,
Dan
bro.
Quinn, yeah, obviously. Dan Quinn. I don't think he fits Dan Quinn.
Yeah, I don't.
But Dan Quinn did take Vic Beasley, didn't he?
I don't know, but who did the Commanders just give a lot of money to in free agency?
Owe.
Oh,
yeah, they just
I don't like if you've just paid Owe that amount of money, like I don't know, like I don't think David Bailey just that just doesn't make sense to me. I'm not saying that.
I can't wait just to see what the first 7 teams do. I just can't wait, bro. Not even what the Saints do. I can't wait to see what they do.
It's gonna be fascinating. But we talked about David Bailey ad nauseum. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We'll be back this upcoming week. What? I don't know. We'll figure it out for our public release episode. This David Bailey episode will release full to the public in 2 weeks, the abbreviated version. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. We will be back next week. With that, we are out.
Peace.